What's up, guys? It's John Dominique from Prize Pics. I do apologize. I know I've been off the grid for a while, not been making any videos or anything. This is just an update as to what has happened from like the last time I put up a video. A lot has changed in my collections. Things have came and gone, and my collection is like moving, breathing, living entity. It's a thing that fluctuates with time and hardly ever stays the same. But I kind of wanted to give an update and a review of a couple of things. First thing I want to talk about was this Fujica ST6, I think it's a 605N that I had. I don't have the camera anymore. I'm trying to find some pictures where I can show you guys, but I couldn't find any. Hopefully I might be able to find some in my archives, but I used this camera and I enjoyed it. It was a good experience. It was compact, it felt good, it looked good. I paired it with a super multi-coated Tachymar 50mm f2.0, or is it 55mm f2.0, one of the two. And I like the grittiness of the look of the pictures that it came out with. The pictures look old school. They look like they got that film vibe, and I don't get that with a lot of the other lenses that I have. I have a small lens collection, so I enjoy the output of the M42 lenses, so I decided to keep the lens. I have that one and a Pentacon 50mm f1.8, which focuses really closely, so that's really good for that. I'm gonna keep both of those lenses, but I did get rid of that Fujica ST605N. I took some pictures with it and it was a good combo. I enjoyed it, I liked it. For me, I have other cameras that do the job just as well, so I couldn't justify keeping it. Basically, the deal breakers, well, I wouldn't say they're deal breakers, but these are like the flaws. The first one was the shutter speed dial. You kind of have to reach on top of the camera and twist it while you're holding it, and it's not as convenient as, I'm used to it coming from the Canon EF, where the shutter speed dial is just right on the back and you just flick it with your thumb. It's really easy. And I understand most cameras are like that, where you have to kind of put your hand up and twist the dial. I guess I got spoiled. That was one thing. Another thing was that the depth of field preview, it kind of got in the way of my grip, and I knew in the long run it would kind of hinder me, and it would start to bother me after a while. So it wasn't the most ideal carry. The way a camera feels in the hand is very important to me, and I wouldn't say that was a deal breaker, but it was just one of the things that I knew in the long run I probably wouldn't keep that camera, because I have other cameras that feel better in the hand. But it was still a great camera. I definitely enjoyed it. I took great pictures, and I'll show you some of the photos I took with it. Definitely enjoyable. And the M42 lenses, again, I'm going to keep that screw mount. I'm going to keep those lenses. I don't have a body for those lenses, but I'm looking at maybe getting a Vivitar 220 SL or 420 SL or something, just because I want to have a body to shoot those cameras with, a dedicated body to shoot those lenses with, because I enjoy those lenses. And maybe I'll add some more M42 lenses in my collection sometime. We'll see. Also, I want to talk about the QL17G3 camera that I had. I took great photos with that. That's a very enjoyable camera. The way it felt, I was very hesitant to get rid of it. I like the way it felt in the hand. It was compact and it was enjoyable to use. There's just a couple of things about it that hung me up. I would say the viewfinder wasn't the best. It wasn't a deal breaker, but it was a little dim, and the patch, the rangefinder patch, the yellow patch that you would use to focus, was a little bit dim, I want to say. Not a deal breaker either, but once I got a hold of the other camera that I'm about to tell you about, I was like, man, this other camera, this is it. This is the way this camera, the Canon, should be. The other thing about the Canon was that the controls were fiddly. I guess because around the lens, they were stiff, and it was hard to move, like the shutter speed dial and the aperture dial, and it just wasn't the most convenient thing, but still a very usable camera. I do highly recommend it. Very reliable, very consistent output. But what happened was I sold it, and instead I've replaced it with the Konica Auto S2. And this guy, this is my bread and butter. Like, it's a beauty. Like, it's in very good condition. The viewfinder is big and bright. And when I use this, it's the way it feels in the hand. It fills my hand really, really well. I can carry this all day. I don't worry about, oh, it's too small in my hand. It gets a little cramped. It's solid. It feels good. The controls are easy to move. It's cheap. Did I say it was cheap? Yeah, it's cheap and it's great. And this is going to be my replacement for the Canon QL17. You know, that's a very popular camera. Everyone loves that one, but this is a sleeper. It's underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it, but to me, this is a better camera. I'd rather keep this one than the Canon. And I took a roll of film with this one already and had it developed, so I'll show you some pictures that I took with that camera, and I love that one. That's my replacement for the Canon QL17. I did sell the Minolta X370. I had an f1.4 lens. That was my first f1.4. I love that camera because it had a big bright viewfinder and it was fun to use. I sold it for a profit. And the reason I sold it was because, you know, there was another camera that was on my radar for a long time that I always wanted to get. And when I finally found it, I pounced on it, and I couldn't justify myself keeping the X370. So this other camera I've been looking for a while. All the ones I got were broken. Very disappointed. Finally found a good used one in good condition. This is the Canon Himatic. I'm sorry. It's a Minolta Himatic F. This is the FP version, the black one. Very good condition. I took one roll of film. I haven't developed it yet. I shot one roll of film in it, not yet developed, but I will come back and show you the pictures when I get a chance. This camera is a joy to use. It's pocketable, it's fun, it's compact, discreet. The patch is very good. I can use this one all day. The viewfinder, this is a perfect camera. This is like so far my favorite camera. I've seen the output, I've seen the example pictures, and I'm like, that looks like film, I gotta have it. One of the criticisms of this Konica Auto S2 camera was that, yeah, it doesn't look like film, it looks digital, because the lens is very sharp and it's got great clarity and it almost looks digital. And you know, that was one of the criticisms about this Konica Auto S2. But for the price of the Canon camera, I got this and this pretty much. So I have a camera that, hey, if you want to look like film, you got this guy. And it's compact and it's discreet and it's awesome. And I got this camera almost for the same price of the Canon QL17. So to me, this is a win. Like, you know, can't go wrong. And yeah, the Canons are more to me, like more for professional use. I want to say I like using them, but you can tell they're more for professionals. They're a very consistent output and they're very good to use, but I'm not a professional. I'm kind of like, you know, I think like the Konicas, the Minoltas, the Olympus, the Fujis are more for everyday, average, common people who are like maybe amateurs or enthusiasts. And I don't know, I enjoy those cameras a little bit more. Better to use in my opinion, the Nikons and the Canons. Don't get me wrong, I still have Nikons and Canons, but I think they're better suited for like professional use. I'm not really a professional. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update as to what was happening and since the last time I uploaded videos. Hopefully I could be a little bit more consistent for you as I upload videos. Anyway, I'll catch y'all in the next round.